Good morning, everyone. This is William, and welcome to Vlog 3. Today I decided to do this in a nice park, and I want to apologize. I actually had the intent to do this vlog in England from having Stonehenge in my backyard, but we had to make changes in our travel plans. But maybe in the future. We'll see. Anyway, today I'm going to give you an update on my writing, and then I want to talk about AI in writing, because I've been looking into this very greatly because, I'm starting to think about publishing and what the limitations are because I am using AI. So I have to figure that out. So, first off, let's start with an update on how I'm doing on the book. So what I've done is I've rewritten probably the first 1/3 of the book. Added more structure, added more detail, give it a lot more world building. Also enhanced some of the interactions with the characters. And I'm at 40,000 words. My God. Okay. I'm probably going to lose a few of those words as I go through and change things further on. It's also important, this rewrite also allows me to connect the end of the book with the beginning of the book and let me interact and control the sub-stories that are happening, giving them a proper beginning and a proper ending as well. At this rate, I expect to be looking at my publication options sometime in June. I will be discussing in a week or two covers and some artwork being done by professional artists, because I'm not going to use AI to do any of the artwork that's going to be in the publication. The things that you see on the posts are all AI generated, and those are primarily to give me inspiration and to give you an interest into certain aspects of the story. And then that's it, and that's where we are, and it's still a wonderful journey every day, a little bit more. My writing discipline is about 2 hours a day, because I'm working full-time. I have a house to take care of and a family. But about 2 hours a day I'm giving to the writing journey. And that's good, because I'm not a professional writer yet. I have years and years and years of work before I can consider myself that. And this is just the things I have to do. Now I want to talk a little bit about AI. So, like I said, I've been looking at my publication options, and one of the things that I started to see is that there is a ban or an extreme limit on any content generated with AI for publication or self-publication and so forth. And there's also a bit of a misunderstanding as to what we're talking about. And that adds to the idea that there's still limits on using AI in things that are creative. I'm going to post on my vlog a paper that I've created with Copilot's help that details all the different areas, but I want to touch on a few of them with you. AI, when I talk AI, I'm using Microsoft Copilot connected to a Microsoft 365 home license. That's important. All AIs have a professional side and they have a public side. Public AI use is not meant for professional use. If you go to Copilot online for free and you ask them, hey, I'm having a party and I want to make a quiz, please give me a trivia quiz of 13 questions ranging from television shows, movies, science fiction genres, and current events, it will do that for you. Okay? Because you're going to use it privately in your home. There's no AI consequence whatsoever because of that. If you turn around and you say to the AI, hey, I'd like to have a story, please give me a 200-word story on man and a woman falling in love, and that's all you tell it, then the problem will be is that it will have nothing from you and it's a computer. It will simply look for a story about a man and woman in love and give you the first 200 words of it. And that is a form of plagiarism. Because even though it might generate the content independently, it can't dictate where the source is. And when you read it, it might sound like Romeo and Juliet. You don't know. So you have to be, one, use the right version of AI for the right purpose, and two, control it. The idea of an AI helping you doing creative things is fantastic, depending on what you want those creative things for. If you're going to be a writer, then use AI like I do as a colleague, as a brainstormer. An example, last blog I talked about my history of Prime, how I got to where the beginning of the story starts. A lot of that I built when I was a teenager. However, I had to have a scientific idea. How many dome cities am I going to have after 100 years of this technology with a limited influx from outside of the population? How many people am I going to have? And so I went through a questionnaire with Copilot, and it actually did a scientific formula with me, and we had estimated that I have around 226 million people over 35 cities, and that these cities would have to each be about the size of Los Angeles. Huge, giant platforms, or at least scaled. And that helped me in my narrative, okay? And then when I'm building my story and I'm transitioning through these cities, I understand them much, much, much better. And if I understand it, I can draw it out and make it so you are interested in it too. That's how you can use AI. I also, since I'm new in writing, I needed to learn how to write dialogue. I needed to learn how to write action sequences. I needed to get access to some research to find some scientific components and genre. And so I asked AI to help me with that. In the stories, I'm dealing with a complete forensic lab of the future. AI helped me figure out what I would need in it. And then I added a few components of my own, and then wrapped it up in a nice thing. Then I told my story about it. AI is very powerful in doing that. Now, let's talk a little bit about AI and how it does it. AI can be used responsibly, and it can be used irresponsibly. A responsible use of AI is you define in the question the parameters of the response. You give it the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, the how. You give it the names. You give it the descriptions of the characters. You give it a character summary. It doesn't matter how much you give it. You can give it a whole page worth of data, and then you tell it within these parameters. Let's think about how we can do a story arc. Which story of the 38 known story types can we use to build a story arc here? And then AI will have that discussion with you. We'll give you your ideas. We'll give you a plethora of lists. I had to come up with a whole bunch of alien races and alien planets. AI helped me build those. I had to come up with, oh goodness. The character names are mine. So AI didn't give me my character names, but AI helped me define traits for the characters. So it's like Albert, for instance. Albert is based upon me. AI, what kind of things would Albert do? He's an expert martial artist. He's known for security. He cares about his nephew, and he's living with his nephew and his brother. Well, they were like, well, he will probably be very well educated in the physical arts, not necessarily going to be highly educated in the sciences. Probably a person who works out a lot, probably a person who would be self-sacrificing. You know, and those traits helped me define Albert. And I also found when I write Albert, I'd write myself with those traits. So prompting correctly with an AI is important. It is absolutely important because then the output is usable to you. Not just simply, oh, give me a story of two people falling in love for 200 words. That's where you get in trouble. And that's what we are not doing here. There are a variety of different legal things to also consider. If you're doing a publishable work, whether it's an article, whether it's a book, whether it's a collection of stories, whether it's even something that you're putting on the internet, if you want to control the copyright, at this point in time of this blog, anything generated by an AI cannot be copyrighted. So I want to publish my book. I want my book to be copyrighted. Nothing in the book, no text in the book can be AI generated. So that is something that publishers always check and verify, and they have all kinds of mechanisms to do that and validate it. And sometimes even the writing you do comes up as AI because you seem to be writing that same flourish that an AI does. An AI would write text for you, but it will write it with a generic tone, without any passion, with no human experience, and will not know love. The love's a word with a billion things of poetry behind it. That would be the limitation an AI can do. Only you can write what is love. Only you can write what do you feel about that situation. So, as a reader, we people who do the writing know that's what you want. So that's what you're going to get. We're going to give ourselves into the writing. And AI is a good tool to help with that. My blog's going over, so I'm going to jump to the last bit. There are a variety of different AIs out there. I use Microsoft Copilot connected to a Microsoft 365 home subscription. That's a lot of words, but it's also important. If you use the other AIs out there, the free AIs or the licensed AIs, anything free is stored on the internet. Anything you ask in the AI is stored in the AI to learn from you for the next time. Anything stored on the internet can be accessed by any other person asking questions of that AI, or someone who can hack into the stored data of that AI. So public AIs should not be used for absolutely anything professional. Only use it for like trivia games at home or a love poem for your spouse. If you have a subscription AI, then you will have a data storage for your prompts and your interactions. You have to also be careful, what does the AI remember each time you talk to it? An AI will start to second guess you, start trying to give you output it thinks you want instead of the output that you're asking for, if it has too much of a history with you. Copilot doesn't do that. Every single time you log in to Copilot and you start a conversation, it's anew. It might seem like a limitation, but is actually one of his greatest benefits. Copilot doesn't remember the last time you talked. And that allows you to keep control of your output, keep control of your processes. It does require you to give more information at the beginning, but Copilot is my choice on this writing journey. So I'm going to finish the blog, which is now starting to run over 15 minutes. I'm sorry about that. I am going to, in my next vlog, I'm going to discuss more details about my characters. I've already told you a little bit about Everett, but I want to talk more about Rick and Albert, and I want to talk about Billy Malone, and the relationship that these three have as professionals, as the main caretakers, basically, of the story. And so, let's see you next week. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, share, give me a comment, and let's see if we can get our subscriber base up. I hope you enjoy this. Bill out.